and welcome back to my channel, where today we are talking about how I pack liquids and toiletries as a hand luggage only traveller. So yes, I might hear you say that this is going to be redundant soon because the rules are changing. Some of the airports have already made the switch in the UK, but a lot of them have been delayed. So if you are travelling this summer, the chances are you're probably going to be caught by an airport that is still doing the 20 by 20 centimetre plastic bag rule. So you will be restricted to this as well. But then eventually, as of next year, the majority of them are hoping to be transferred over, so you don't have to take your liquids out of your bag anymore, and the requirement on the size is also changing a little bit as well. But if you're traveling this summer, this is kind of how I do it as a hand luggage only traveler. So this is my new favorite wash bag. This is the one that I use for trips that are like over than a week long. So this is my one here. The bottom half zips off and turns into the one that you have to remove. So sometimes they don't like it if it has that third dimension, but because this one is a shorter bag, then that means that it gets away with it. I flew from Heathrow back in March and Singapore, and this was fine. This got through absolutely fine with no problem. But this is how I work things out when I go hand luggage only. So the first things first, not everything counts as a liquid. So for example, I've made some changes into the things that I use that then mean I don't have to take them out at security. So for example, stick deodorant is considered a solid. Then I have a solid shampoo bar, which again, not a liquid. Then at the back, these are bug repellent wipes. So wipes aren't considered a liquid. And then this is a soap. This is like, it's a bit like an aloe vera type soap type one, where so it's meant to be good for like burns and bug bites and itching and heat rash and all stuff like that. So I have that bar of soap there. So all of those things are considered solids, so they don't have to go in a liquid bag. So I don't use things like this at home. Like at home, I would use liquid shampoo, I use spray deodorant, so I don't necessarily like using them, but for the sake of travel and making priorities in my liquid bag, I've made the switch. But in this bag here, I then use all of my liquids. So for this trip here, this one is packed and ready to go. I'm going to Mauritius, so obviously my priority is sun cream. So I know for my personal travels, if I'm going somewhere for about 2 weeks, it is about 100 to 125 mils that I need of sun cream for just under a 2-week holiday. So I've got it split up into two 50 pouches, 50 mil pouches, and then there's another one with 25 mils in. I also need bug repellent. So these are two that I bought in Thailand. These ones are, I believe they're 80 mils. So I've got an 80 mil one, and then I've got one in case I run out, which is a bit smaller. I've then got hand sanitizer. This is bite cream. This is iodine that I bought again in Thailand. And then I obviously have lip stuff, my toothpaste. And then going back to the solid shampoo, I find that, and a lot of other people say it too, that solid shampoo does tend to like dry your hair out. So I do then travel with a liquid conditioner as well. So I think eventually I've put that one in there because I've got a tiny pouch with a little bit of conditioner left over. So what I'm going to do is when the pouch is empty of that conditioner, which is a different one, I'm then going to fill it up with that one, and then I'm going to throw this little teeny tiny one away. So then with the pouches, I love these pouches. These ones are great. So I bought a pack of them here with different sizes, and I just find them so much better than like the bottles. I used to use this one, which was a 100 ml bottle, but these ones go completely flat. So when you finish using the liquid, it just goes flatter and flatter and flatter and flatter. They're super easy to refill, similar to like this one here, has a similar size opening in the top. So I now use the pouches, which I find take up less space than like a bulky plastic bottle. And like the silicone bottles, I don't use those. Again, they just take up too much space. Like these pouches are pretty much almost completely flat, so I like to do things like that. And then again, this in the other parts of my wash bag, I just have like my brush, and then I have like some plasters. These are like little laundry soaps. So like again, this is like when I have my like clothes. Rather than taking like liquid travel wash, I use these like little soap things. You just kind of rub them in your hand, and then it makes the water bubble up. So this is kind of what I do for a 2-week-ish trip. I know that that's exactly what I need for that duration, and that bag then fits into this. So this is my 30-litre hand luggage backpack. This is the one that I travel with 90% of the time. This is usually my go-to. I can easily get a 2-week holiday out of this, probably even longer in all honesty. because I would probably just take the same amount of things and then, like I said, just wash them. But that wash bag does take up about a quarter of this backpack. So at the moment my clothes fill up halfway, and then the wash bag sits in the front, and then I have other stuff in the back part. But when it comes to things like Ryanair, you get a smaller backpack. So obviously this giant wash bag is going to take up nearly the whole thing. But I've done about a 5-day trip out of a Ryanair backpack like this, which, I mean, it is small. You are pushing it. But I then used something like this, which I then put my solids in, like my toothbrush and my brush. Again, they're all fold up and collapsible. But then I will then use just a bog standard, like, plastic Ziploc bags that then can fold up a little bit better, and then you can just slot them in the cracks. So yes, with Ryanair it's a little bit different, because I will then take smaller amounts, because I'm probably not going to do 2 weeks out of a hand luggage bag that's Ryanair size. 30 litres I find is absolutely fine, but a 20 litre bag like Ryanair is next to impossible. But then, as I said, like, the rules are meant to be changing soon. So say, for example, you will be able to take like a full-size sun cream like this, but honestly I don't need to. Like, when you travel hand luggage only and you pack to travelling light, you only take what you need. I don't need a 200ml sun cream, because I can easily do it out of 100ml for like a 2-week trip. So I'm not going to take this just because the rules have changed. I'm probably still going to pack to my normal dimensions and my normal sizes. The only difference I might make is using spray deodorant instead of stick deodorant, because I don't like stick deodorant. I find it's just, I don't know, it's my personal preference. I don't like it. But then also as well, like, going back to the Ryanair bag, like, yes, the liquids allowances are changing, but the size of the bags are not. So Ryanair still have the 20 litre one. The 30 litre one is still standard on most airlines, but some of them only have a 7 kg weight limit. So when I did the Vietnam trip with just hand luggage, I couldn't necessarily take huge bottles of stuff, because these all add to the weight. So I'm still going to pack light. I just find it's easier that way. It's just a little bit nicer as well. Like I said, you don't need to be carrying around so much additional weight. There's not really any need to. But if you do have any questions about how I pack liquids or toiletries as a hand luggage traveller, let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Or if you have any other questions you have about all things travel, let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.